Hey book nerds, welcome to my channel. That feels kind of weird to say because it has been a while. I'm not going to launch into a long explanation. Explanation is the world and also my life, but everything is fine, don't worry about me, I'm good. I want to apologise because I've not done a Snakes and Ladders TBR video for a long time, and I know that's a lot of people's favourites on my channel, but thankfully today I'm doing one. So I decided that the most logical thing to do was to just restart everything. So I'm keeping the same prompts, the same board. I'm not keeping any failed attempts. I actually did Snakes and Ladders both for March and April. The March one I filmed and never uploaded. The April one I only half filmed. But I'm not counting any of the failed books from that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from scratch, do 6 rolls. If you don't know, the Snakes and Ladders TBR videos, I basically play a game of Snakes and Ladders. Each colour on the board is a different prompt. I draw the card from the prompt and then I select a book based off that prompt. I will link previous videos down below if you want to watch them. But essentially every month I do 6 rolls, pick those books. That might be more than 6 books because I can get doubles on rolls and stuff. But I pick those and then if I fail to read them I usually add it on the next month. But I'm not going to do that starting from scratch. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get down to some Snakes and Ladders. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Straight in there we have genre and we have top rated horror. Okay, so we're on Goodreads, we're on my horror shelf. I have to read the top rated horror, so we're gonna go average rating. Yep, average rating. Let it load. And then it is ascending currently, so if I go here to the last page, top rated horror is this one, Quiet Places. A novella of cosmic horror, and it's on Kindle Unlimited, so yeah, this is the winner. First prompt was top rated horror book, and as you saw, the winner was Quiet Places by Jasper. This says it's a novella of cosmic folk horror. It's got kind of like a little Red Riding Hood on the cover with a wolf. I don't really know what it's about. It's obviously a novella, so it's short. It's about a small town plagued by some kind of cosmic horror beast. Cosmic horror isn't normally my jam, but fairy tale horror is my jam, so this book could go either way. I think I added it because of something the author has done before. It's been on my TBR a while. It is the top rated horror book, so hopefully I will like it as much as other people. 1. Ooh. I'm gonna hang out next to this snake. Green, which is random, and the first book I see from a haul video. Okay, so I've not actually watched BookTube for ages because reasons. So I'm gonna get my book from the haul video. I can see Sasha has done a haul, so let's see if she's got anything.
Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Next is The School of Good and Evil by Soman, Chainani.
Ooh, there we go, School of Good and Evil. I've still not read that, so I guess that's the book. The next prompt was first book on my TBR from a haul video. As you can see, the lovely Sasha from Well Read and Half Dead provided me with the book, which is The School for Good and Evil by Soman Chainani, I think. This is a middle grade book, which is actually younger than I normally read, but this is about 2 children, and I believe there are schools for good and schools for evil, and you can see the main characters, kind of one who's like a stereotypical princess and one who's a stereotypical, shall we say, evil child. And then they get sent to the other school. I don't really know much about the plot beyond that, but it sounds really interesting. It's super long, but it is middle grade, so I'm not expecting it to be a particularly tough read. And I've been putting off this for ages. It's cropped up a couple of times in various readathon challenges and Snakes and Ladders TBR videos, and I just never get around to actually reading it, so maybe this time I will actually read it. 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dark blue, which is challenges, and we have 500 plus pages. The next prompt has annoyed me because I got 500 plus pages, which is not what I wanted for easing back into a nice like Snakes and Ladders TBR video. But it's even more annoying because in the it was the March one that I filmed and I never posted. I also got 500 plus pages. I picked an audiobook and I listened to it. It was like 26 hours. I listened to all of it and I loved it. And I was like, oh yeah, smash that prompt. Obviously I don't get any, I mean, I don't do this for kudos or whatever, but you know, I don't get any credit, shall we say, for doing that. And now 500 pages has popped up again, and I used the one book that I really wanted to read that was over 500 pages in the last time this prompt came up. So, I am bending my own rules ever so slightly, because it is a tough time. I've got mental health-a-thon as well in May, and I don't want to break my brain. So I've picked Straight On Till Morning, which is a Twisted Tale book. Simone and I gave me this book. I've really been waiting to read it. These are Disney retellings of the movies, and they're great. I love them so much. They're really enjoyable. She very kindly got me this one. And it is, if I check, 483 pages. It's very big font, but we'll ignore that. It's 483 pages. I'm saying that is close enough to 500 pages. And it means that I won't cry in May because of reading. So yeah, this is the book I'm picking. This is obviously a retelling of Peter Pan, I didn't actually say. And I think Captain Hook takes Wendy to Neverland rather than Peter, which is a great premise. So yeah, I'm going to read this and hopefully love it. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on a snake. So first we have yellow, which is goals, and we have a top 5 thriller. Go down that snake, another green, which is random, and we have first book on my TBR I see on Twitter. Yes, I've also not been on Twitter for a while. I'm going to say that it's the first book that's on my TBR, which Nevernight is not. So scroll Twilight series, read those. Okay, I had to scroll down quite a while, but this is Macmillan Reads, and they have tweeted this lovely picture of books. And in this lovely picture of books, I can see The Gracier by Kim Liggett, which is one of the books on my TBR. So that's my book for this prompt. So we've been hit with a double whammy of books. So the first one is a book from my top 5 thriller list. That's top 5 thrillers I want to read in 2020. I've picked The Girlfriend by Michelle Francis. This has a great summery cover, even if the world isn't particularly summery right now. And it is a thriller about a son and his mother and his fiancée. And I believe his mother's quite wealthy, and the son brings home his fiancée to stay for the summer, presumably. And the mother and the fiancé clash, and sounds like it's got a lot of my favourite thriller elements. It's got like 2 females facing off against each other. There's some doubt about the fiancé's past, stuff like that. This was raved about a couple of years ago, which is why it's been on my radar for so long. But I haven't heard anything about it for a long time, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to really like this. And the second book came from Twitter. It took me a long time to find a book on Twitter that was on my TBR, weirdly enough. But I picked The Gracier by Kim Liggett. Well, I didn't pick it, this is the first one that came up. This is one of the 2019 releases that I want to read in 2020. It is a science fiction about a society where teenage girls have this thing called the Gracier, and it's meant to be, I think, when they turn 16ish, and they are supposed to release pheromones that become irresistible to men and drive women crazy in terms of like jealousy. So all the girls who reach this age get sent off to live out that year away from society, but there are people who kidnap girls during that phase, and it's basically about the group dynamics of these girls who've been sent off into the wilderness to live out this grace year. Sounds awesome. It's my kind of sci-fi, and I'm hoping I really enjoy this. I think I'm going to listen to this as an audiobook on Scribd, probably. Yeah. 3, 1, 2, 3. Genre again. We have top rated anthology. On my anthology shelf, average rating ascending. If I go to the last page. And her smile will untether the universe. I just realised I could have got the same book for both horror and anthology, because I'm pretty sure this was high up on my horror shelf. Gwedolyn Kiste is the author. And I have got it. Yep. So it is this book. The next prompt was top rated anthology, and it looks like I'm going to be reading a lot of horror this month, because And Her Smile Will Untether the Universe was the winner, by Gwedolyn Kiste. This I've heard about specifically because of, I can't remember if it's a horror booktuber or a podcast or something, but it popped up on quite a few top horror of the year lists and like top female horror authors. And it's basically a short story collection, so I can't really say much more beyond that. Some of the plot premises on Goodreads sound really cool, but yeah, I've just heard great things about this author, and I am part of the Ladies of Horror Fiction Twitter thing in terms of I follow what they post, and have never actually successfully participated in a book club, but I want to, which is the key thing. So yeah, hopefully I will really enjoy this. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another random. We have random cover colour. Need a random colour. Let's get this random colour. Green! Perfect. I'm laughing because that's the mental health-a-thon prompt colour. So awesome. Even better. So you may notice we've reached the final throw, and I have very, very, very few books that are relevant for mental health-a-thon, which is taking place this month. But it's fine, because with the final throw I got one, and yeah. So, the colour is green, and I'm picking Widlflowers, which is an ARC I have, and it has this green flower on the cover. It's by L.B. Simmons, and it's basically the story of 4 teenagers who are all at the same, I think it's like a teenager youth program. So it's kind of like a care home, but not a care home, if that makes sense. And they've all had rough lives. They've all had various things they've gone through, and it's about the friendships they build up in this program and kind of how their lives all thread together. So it's young adult contemporary. It caught my attention because it's kind of, I quite like the cover actually. It's a bit cartoonish, but I thought it was really striking. And yeah, I just like the sound of the plot. And finally I have a book that fits for mental health on, so that's good. So yeah, so there's all the books I'm hoping to read in May for the Snakes and Ladders TBR. I will try to keep these consistent from now on. I will also be posting a mental health-a-thon TBR because these books don't work for mental health-a-thon. I love mental health-a-thon. So that'll be coming shortly. I kind of didn't want to do like a summary or like an apology thing for not posting, because those tend not to work well. Like I tend to apologise and then continue not to post. But I do want to say that I will be posting my wrap-ups a little jankily. I'm going to do my April one first, and then I have January and February pre-filmed, then I have to film my March one post. So my March wrap-up might be a bit rubbish because I might not remember a lot about the books. But yeah, the wrap-ups will be coming soon. I'm trying to resume normal content. I'm not going to make any promises, but thank you everyone who's checked in on me. I am doing okay. It's just another thing, like booktube is another thing on top of everything else. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. It helps me out massively. And I hope to see you next time.